Hey, what's up? It's Frank here from DataDriven.tv, the podcast where we focus on the emerging fields of data science, machine learning, and artificial intelligence. If you'd like to think of data as the new oil, then think of us as car talk. Anyway, today is June 1st, and many people talk about these moments in their lives, that kind of a watershed moment, or it was that moment that kind of changed them. It was 2 years ago exactly today that I had my on a mission from God moment. Right, straight out of the Blues Brothers movie. I attended an internal-only Microsoft Machine Learning and Data Science Summit. It's for internal employees only. At this point, I kind of knew that my job was moving to the West Coast, and I basically said I can't move. And I was looking for kind of a new career because the whole Silverlight, Windows Phone, Windows 8 app development, and UWP stuff wasn't going where it was supposed to go. So I was really doing a lot of work on K Street as part of my role in government affairs, basically kind of doing data visualization type stuff. And at that point, my experience with data science had primarily been data visualization. Now, there's nothing wrong with data visualization, but as a software engineer from the age of 12, I guess, in some form of capacity, I just really didn't want to be writing reports or, kind of cool visualizations as my only job. I wanted something more meaty or more technical. That's not to say that you can't be doing Power BI or that sort of thing and not be meaty and technical, but it wasn't really scratching the engineering building stuff itch that I had. And it was basically 2 years ago today that I attended the keynote presentation where they talked about machine learning and all sorts of other kind of the math behind artificial intelligence, the engineering that goes into training algorithms. And that was where I had my moment of, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do with my life, my career. And that kicked off a chain of events. And what's really funny is you're probably watching this and thinking, hey, how come we didn't record this on the Data Driven channel? Data Driven didn't exist. So basically 2 years ago today set off a chain of motion that changed my life for the better in more ways than one. And it was really that conference that really opened my eyes to the whole field of AI and machine learning and engineering, the engineering aspects of data science, which is something I've been obviously going deep on the last 2 years, for sure, going 90 miles an hour. I think I'm 26 certifications in. I found my passion. So I say this for two things. It has nothing to do with bragging, although it is something to be proud of, right? But 2 years ago, I was in a place in my life and my career, I wasn't happy. And it's really meant to inspire you, listeners. So if you want to get into data science, just, you know what? The only way to live life sometimes is going at 90 miles an hour. And once you find something to be passionate about, that's going to fuel you. That's going to push you. And the other thing is that I radically changed my life in the last 2 years, in multiple dimensions and aspects. And, I've lost, I think, a total of 40 pounds. I teach classes on data science. I have a podcast. So all these things didn't exist 2 years ago. I mean, the podcast is barely a year old. I think it's 1 year and a couple of days. And we've had 50,000 downloads. So I just want to inspire you to think about what are the things that you can do to enrich yourself and open up new doors you didn't really think existed. 2 years ago, I wasn't really sure exactly what data science was, or I thought it was primarily about pulling in data into reports, which I got really good at, by the way, not to brag, but coming up with data visualizations, really rich three-dimensional stuff, some of that Silverlight, UWP, WPF stuff coming to the rescue. But it was really just getting into the math of it and discovering that I love math, discovering that I actually love statistics. And it was just, I discovered a side of myself I didn't know. I kind of suspected it was there, but I mean, I rediscovered kind of that inner geek, that inner, like, I got to know more. I'm not going to sleep until I figure this out. And it was good to have that back. And you think that, once you hit a certain age, a certain point in your career, you have kids, you have a wife, you have a house, you have dogs, a mortgage, et cetera, that you're beyond that. And that's not true. Totally not true. As long as you got a pulse, you can learn and you can be inspired. So with that, just trying to pay it forward in terms of what I learned. So you can go out, attend that conference, do something that kind of is outside your comfort zone. And that's what I did. I didn't know what to expect at this. What's actually interesting is I met some interesting folks out there. I did do some networking, and it was really transformative. I can't underscore that enough. I will post in the show notes some of the link to the videos that I made when I was out there, as well as the videos that I actually recorded in the Channel 9 studio, which was on my bucket list of things to do while I was a Microsoft employee. And a few months later, I wasn't. But I just want to inspire folks who are out there. They're kind of thinking that they're burnt out. They don't know what they want to do next. Go do something a little bit outside your comfort zone. I did that, and I got a little bit of taste of that, and that adrenaline, that rush, that living life again, and it really changed my life. I know it's a bit of sidetrack. Some of this may not end up in the final podcast. I don't know. I'll let Andy decide. If you listen to the show, we tend to ramble. It's not so much rambling as it is just tapping into that raw feed, a stream of consciousness. There's also cars going around where I am, so that's kind of distracting. But the key is that always be learning. And you have a great day.